the video on Amazon Web Services and how do you get an instance going up to there so that you can host your server on that. So I'm going to take it from the ground up. And the first thing you do is everyone can get to Google. So just come in and go to the Google search box and type in AWS. And AWS gets to a Amazon Web Services, Cloud Computing Services. So click that link right there. And then from there, you'll see a sign up screen. I'm not going to go through the sign up process I'm assuming that you guys can do that. I'm not going to show you that part, but I will show you the front pages to it. So the first thing you go to is, after you signed up, is AWS Management Console. And there will be a login screen when you guys do this. I have skipped that process for a lot of different reasons. Security is one of them. There's other reasons, but when you go through the login, you will then see these services. And the one that you're interested in is the one that says EC2 Virtual Servers in the Cloud right here. So click on that. Okay, so now you see a pretty busy screen. All right, so I'm going to go through this pretty rapidly, but I want to explain to you what all these things are at. Running instances. An instance is basically a virtual computer that's out into the Amazon space. So think of it as they call it a virtual machine, and think of it as a computer that's been hosted over on Amazon.com. That's where the ultimate goal of what we're doing here. Key pairs is another also important. That's the public-private key security. Those are basically your passwords to get into AWS. Elastic IPs, that's also important because those are publicly addressable IP spaces that you attach to the instances in order for it to get to the internet. And the last one I'll go into is of all these is security groups. Quite a few of them because they generate it. You're going to have to know that because you're going to have to know how to open up what's called TCP ports in order for your Minecraft server to communicate out of the Amazon.com facility. So the easiest way to proceed with this is go down to Create Instance, and you see where it says Launch Instance. So click on that. And then you have step one, choose an Amazon machine image. Now, there's a thing called AMIs, and there's AWS Marketplace, and also called Community AMIs, sorry. So there's different types like Amazon Linux AMI, Red Hat Enterprise, SUSE Linux Enterprise Server, all of those, and you see these free tier eligible. Okay, what that means if you run a small instance, which we're going to be doing here for the purposes of instruction, it doesn't cost you anything. Now the image that you're going to want to load is called Ubuntu. Okay, Ubuntu, and the version is 12.04. So go ahead and select that, and you can select a 64-bit image. Okay, and then you get to the screen that says micro instances. So there's all sorts of ranges of instances from micro to clusters, and the larger it is, the more computing resources it takes up, and the more money it will cost you. So go ahead and you get the 750 hours micro instances each month, and then they start to charge you. So I'm going to get charged a few pennies for this, but it's nothing that's going to keep me up nights. So you go review and launch. Okay, so it gives you this warning here. Your security group Launch Wizard 5 is open to the world, and then it has the security groups, instance types. As we go down here, TCP. But what we want to do right now is we just want to get into a state where you guys have the server running. So when you go here, hit launch. All right, now this is really important. This is probably what the first big hurdle to getting this thing up and operating. And it says select an existing key pair or create a new key pair. So the public key and private key is how you authenticate into manage your server. Okay, so you're going to have to get pretty literate on how to find and and get your private key. So what you have to do is you have to either select one here, which you're not going to do because it's a new instance, or create a new key pair. So create a new key pair, and then we have a key pair name. So I'm going to do test bucket. Okay, and then you can download your key pair. So there it goes. It's over here down at the bottom of Chrome. So we'll go over here. We'll do a show and finder real quick. Okay, and then there it is, testbucket.pem. All right, so that's going to be really important. I'm going to leave it in the downloads folder because I'll know where it's at. It's very important that you know where this thing is located at because you're going to be using it later to log in. So now you have your key pair name. It's created. It's on your desktop. So then you launch the instance. So now it's going. So you see the name here. It's got a launch log. So one of the things to do is you can go back here and then go here and then watch the go to running instances and then watch the instance go up. So it's initializing now, and we're going to wait a couple seconds here. And while we're doing that, what we can do is I can bring up what's called VSSH Lite, which is a free download from the Apple Store. So I'm going to bring that up, show you that while this thing is going up here. So right here, this is what we're going to be using a little bit later on to connect into the instance. Okay, so you've got the name, the group, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So let's do this. Put this out of the way for now, and we'll go to this instance. And while it's initializing, nothing's keeping us from getting our next part ready. So see the public IP here? I'm going to take that, and then we copy it, and then we're going to bring back our VSSH terminal, and then our host. Your host name will be that IP, okay? And the port is 22. The name, we'll call it test bucket. And the username will be Ubuntu UBUNTU, and you'll leave the password thing blank, okay? Now, you can save this as a new piece right now, and then go to the menu. You'll see this up here. Hopefully you'll be able to see, and go to Tools and then Private Keys. So it goes to Private Keys. Okay, so this is where it gets real important, as I said, to know where the private key you downloaded from Amazon was at. So you hit a plus here, and then go to Downloads, testbucket.pem, open, and then close. So that's our security right there. And then there's an auto-run script, auto-run URL. We're not going to mess with that right now. So let's go see if our instance is done. It is. It's still it's initializing status check, but it's running. So what we can do now is we can give it a name. So we'll call it test bucket. and we are good to go. So then we go back to our terminal, and if all goes well, this should connect to that instance. So let's try it. And you want to hit yes permanently. So it goes through this whole thing here. Public key accepted, access granted. Okay. So now this is about 70% of what it takes to get you onto in a situation where you can manage and run your own Minecraft server. So if you see this screen, you're good. As always, thanks for watching and have a great day. Thanks.